You're watching Fox 5 Eyewitness News. It's 6:30 in Atlanta. Here's what's making news right now.
There are loan companies more than willing to help you out of a jam, especially if you are a homeowner with equity. Money is available, but high interest rates aren't the only thing to watch out for, because you could end up borrowing trouble. That's the subject of I-Team reporter Virginia Ellis's special report. Virginia?
Russ, there are laws that require lenders to disclose the terms of your loan, but even though it's usually all there in black and white, not everyone understands exactly what they've been sold. And as we found out, sometimes it may be illegal.
I asked Sam one time, I said, Sam, what would happen if I miss any of my loan payment? And he laughed and said, oh, we'll just come get your house.
Fred Wood isn't laughing. He is on the verge of losing his one investment, a modest 4-room home in Austell. He had to cut back on his hours at a local restaurant after pain from his diabetes became too much. He just couldn't stand on his infected feet for the long hours that were required.
I'm working now, but I hurt constantly, all the time.
With less money coming in, Fred turned to the loan company he had worked with for years, now called the Associates. They would give him a home equity loan of about $36,000 with an annual percentage rate of 16.5%.
You needed that money.
I needed it. I was desperate.
Within 4 months, he was in more trouble. The Associates refinanced. Now, Fred owes over $43,000, and paying it back is not looking good.
It's my opinion that this company is a merchant of misery.
Howard Rothblum is Fred Wood's attorney.
It's a win-win situation. If these borrowers pay their notes, then the Associates makes high interest. And if they don't pay their notes, they get the homes, and the homes have high equity in them.
Rothblum is trying to save Fred's home, but it is an uphill battle. The law is often on the side of the loan companies. After all, everything is disclosed in the contracts. Here it is in black and white, the interest rates, the amounts. It's all legal, or is it? There is something else Fred Wood was sold with his loan from the Associates, credit life insurance. It's to cover the loan if he should die.
They'll have a mark there, sign here, and then date it at the end, you know, and I never read any of that.
What Fred says he didn't realize was the Associates sold him $75,000 worth of coverage, even though his loan was just $43,000. The cost, more than $5,000. And that $5,000 was paid upfront, wrapped right into the loan. And even more disturbing, Fred has no wife or children to protect with this insurance.
He shouldn't have been sold that product. He didn't need it. And most of all, he couldn't afford it.
And who owns the insurance company that profited from this premium? The same company that made the loan, the Associates. Rothblum says the insurance was not only unnecessary, but illegal. By Georgia law, credit life insurance cannot be sold on loans for more than 120 months. But Fred Wood's loan was for 180 months. His lawyers say he is not alone, and they have filed a class action lawsuit against the Associates. Attorney Roy Barnes presented the case.
I told the judge that it's always news when a man robs a bank, but this was a case when a bank robs a man.
How many others are there like Fred Wood? The Associate says there are about 800. What do you think about that number?
I think it's minimal.
That does not appear to be proper.
The I-Team wanted to know what Georgia Insurance Commissioner John Oxendine thought about the credit life insurance the Associates sold to Fred Wood.
If that is true, that sounds like that could be fraudulent activity. And if it is, we're going to address that.
His office has already started an investigation. Fred Wood is left to wait, never forgetting where he went wrong.
Some people would say, Mr. Wood, you had a responsibility to read that contract. What do you say to that?
When you're desperate for money and you trusted people, sometimes blind faith gets in your way of doing things the right way.
We contacted the associates at their headquarters in Texas. They say they do not believe they have violated the law and they expect to prevail. They say representatives from the Georgia Insurance Commissioner's office are at their headquarters, but they say it is just a routine audit. Russ?
Now, Virginia, did the associates know that they weren't supposed to sell that credit insurance under the terms that they were selling it, the 180 versus the 120 months?
We have seen letters from the Insurance Commissioner's office to the associates that informs them that they can only sell it for 120 months. So we know that they have been informed and they do know. And tomorrow night we'll have more on this topic, dealing with people who run into trouble with borrowing.
Boy, it's such a shame. They
Yes.
get in such a hole, don't they?
Yes,
Virginia,
they do.
thanks.